What does that smell?
Oh, so my parents are farmers, and they brought me a whole load of pork chops. And, well, there was too many pork chops to eat, so I put them in my chest freezer. And, well, I guess I might have unplugged it because...
What happened in the freezer?
Well, I guess I must have unplugged it because all the pork chops went bad. So what you're smelling is bad pork chops.
Gosh, Jeff, you think?
Golly.
Those were... So nothing to worry about here. Can you give me my little Asian kid back? All right.
Interesting side note. You know what kind of cigarettes Jeffrey Dahmer smokes? Parliaments.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Parliaments. I noticed that in like episode 5. You pull out a pack. I was like, oh no!
He's also a heavy Budweiser drinker.
Yeah, Budweiser.
Oh, dude, he
Who does that remind you of?
chugs.
Who does that remind you of?
He chugs the Budweiser.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Me and Vinny's kid. Parliament Lights and Budweiser. So, yeah.
Would you name him Jeff after me?
Yeah. Combination. Well, happy Monday, September 26th.
I thought I would have the intro music starting faster.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what? I can move it up.
No, it's coming
How
in.
far away are we?
About a mile. Hey, it's okay. We're,
I'll fudge that up. Real
yeah,
bad.
that's why I like. It's like
Hey! See, you get us warts and all, baby. Could I lower my seat so I can't?
You're okay. You're like,
Oh, it's as low as it'll go. Yeah, I just want you to be on the same level, man. They said we made Eric look like a shrimp back there. Yeah, we framed it that way. Well, cheers, queers, and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We have Clint Moses. We have the disembodied voice of Jeff, interesting side note, Landrum over there.
Hello.
On the ones and twos. Today's...
Jeff, interesting side note, Dahmer.
Yeah. We're, buckle up, kids, because this is going to be a rumble in the Bronx, a romp in the weeds. We got the boys from Raw Ingredients here on Tybee Island coming on the second half.
We do.
And they've been patrons already, and, so we love shouting out local businesses like Inferno and Tybee.
And the Windrose.
And the Windrose and Bubba Gumbos,
Thanks when Windrose will be playing the podcast over the speakers this week because yet again last week. Hey, buddy, you with us there, Mr. Dahmer?
Yep.
Cool.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going? Hey, all right. It's a good start here, boys.
We're working
good
it out.
So I was at the Windrose last Thursday. I unfortunately am not there tonight, but I'm there in spirit. I'm sure Paxton will be there shortly.
No, there's a hurricane.
Anyways, yeah, that's his excuse. So the week before we went, and we were like, God, who's going to be there talking, and it's going to be so loud you can't hear the podcast? It was Mike. Shockingly, it was Mike.
Weird.
So Mike had to work this Thursday, but don't worry, Mike. Martin had your back. We had a louder speaker on.
Yeah.
And then Martin had pre-gamed for a day and a half, I think. And he kept complaining that he couldn't hear. I was like, it's because you won't stop talking. And I would be like, hey, be quiet for a minute, listen to this part. And he'd 8 seconds.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, Martin, I love you, but shut the F up.
He sent me a text 2 or 3 days ago, and it was a man jumping on the moon, and he goes, you know what? You were right about my comment,
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
I explained that to him.
I was like, you didn't hear it at the Windrose?
No, I tried to get him to get to that, and he just kept talking and talking and talking. Even we were with some other friends, and they were both like, I'm going to have to watch this again because I couldn't hear it because Martin.
So to address the elephant in the room, I was the Daren of the week last week, it turns out, because we wanted to get some food after...
We is not a person.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to get some food. I
got some because you were getting some.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So...
Weird how that works. When one of us wants something, the other one gets
So we started the podcast early. We didn't get hammered. So it was like we ended early enough before the kitchen we thought would close at what, 10:30?
At Huckapoo's.
At Huckapoo's.
We called.
We
called it 10:30, and they're like, the kitchen shut down. But then they were like, our friend Danny was like, I'll make it for you, whatever. But then, I did turn into the Daren.
They called us back. Rachel called my phone back about 15 minutes later.
15 minutes.
And was like, hey, we'll make it for you. And I was like, no, it's fine. She's like, no, we will. And I hear Danny back like, no, we got this. I'm like, thank you. Because I think the kitchen was just shutting down, and the person that answered the phone didn't realize who was on the phone until the end of the conversation.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I think you talked to her.
Do you know who I am?
Well, it was like, oh, it's Fro. And she was like, oh, okay. And I guess she probably went and told somebody. You
can just leave it in the center for the most part.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
God.
We were over there on your phone doing something.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were like, "Oh no, we didn't realize it was you guys." I'm like, "It's okay. Like I don't care. I wasn't. I had food at home."
I'm not trying to pull rank or anything.
No,
like that,
but,
you know?
but it was like it's for Paxton, me, and Fro. Like, hey guys.
I think I made the comment that Paxton, you're not fucking eating tonight.
Yeah.
I think that's what got her.
Yeah, but then they called back and they were like, "Oh, we got
not trying to pull.
And the pizza was fantastic. Thank you guys.
It was great.
It
I had
was
the federale,
Yeah.
and it had a mix of the other toppings on there as well. So, and speaking of toppings and things, Jeff, what are we drinking here, buddy?
Tonight's drink is the spiked limonada. Comes from Brazil, and it uses, there you go, cachaça, which is a
style of dance.
It's made from sugarcane, directly made from sugarcane, unlike rum, which comes from molasses that's made from sugarcane. So
like the byproducts of sugarcane.
That's the difference. They're very similar, a little bit cleaner in flavor, and it's not as.
And you said you blended entire limes.
Entire limes. You juice 4 limes, set that aside. Take those juiced limes, chop them up into quarters, chuck them into a blender. Add 6 cups of water, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and 3/4 of a cup of what was it?
Sriracha.
No, the
Sriracha.
cream. The
Cream. Oh, condensed milk.
Condensed milk.
Sweet
Thank you.
milk.
Sweet because
So you blend the water and the lemons first, run them through a fine mesh strainer, and kind of mush the pulp so you get every last bit of that goodness out.
I'm familiar.
And then you take that mix right there, you add it to the sweetened condensed milk and the sugar, and you stir it up really nice, and boom, over ice. Add your cachaça. 8 ounces.
Let me give you a little pregame on this. We've probably housed like 4 of these already.
and here's the thing: I don't ingest hardly any sugar other than like an alcohol sugar. Rum is sugary.
Yeah,
sugar is definitely sugary.
I've heard
this
that.
milk's got sugar
Well,
in it too,
cachaça
right?
is made from sugar cane.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I am.
Yeah,
You're jacked
it's
up.
beautiful.
Like,
No,
you know.
it tastes so good. Like when you
But
brought it
then
in,
we're just
I thought he had a white jug of water because he showed it to me. I was like, cool. I'm glad you're hydrated. And then he started pouring it, and I was like, oh, the liquid. But so it looks really like milky and creamy.
It
but
does.
it tastes
It's Dahmer
super.
mankind.
It's super citrusy.
It's very citrusy, and see, they don't really have a lot of the yellow lemons down there,
No.
so this is their version of lemonade. That's their lemon.
So what was this powdery substance that was floating on the top of it, right, when you first gave it to me after you took it out of the bathroom?
My cooler broke, and
I think my freezer.
my pill smashed.
hey, that's some
Just to
pork
hit-
All right,
chops.
so-
I hit it with an ashtray and then put it in your thing.
So
I don't do a good Milwaukee accent, so I'm not even gonna try.
I have this idea of, we all love Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? And it's all observational sort of things and things that bother, at least Larry David. So I was thinking of a little segment called Curb Your Douchebaggery because am I a douchebag for this? All right, I'm gonna present you
the pizza thing.
I'm gonna.
Just like that. Am I the asshole?
Am I the
thing or
asshole
whatever?
sort of
Yeah,
thing,
Am I the DB?
It's sort of like that. Well, okay, so down here on Tybee, we have crosswalks, which you hit a button and it'll light up,
blinkety blinkety.
and the cars will stop. Okay.
Hypothetically,
Yeah, but on Tybee, unless it's like crunk summertime, there's not a lot of cars and not a lot of people going across the crosswalks all the time.
Sure.
So let's say in this situation, you're 2 people. There's not very many cars. You hit the button and you go across the crosswalk. If there are cars waiting for you, do you up your speed by 25% or so just to hurry it along? Or do you walk at normal speed?
I move. I mean, I step it up a little bit.
Okay.
I always post haste through a crosswalk.
About 25% increase, whatever,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
as a
A
sign
light
of respect.
jog.
And now, if it's a family of 7 and the guy's got 6 kids, I got
Walk
you, bro.
at your speed.
Yeah.
Just keep your kids wrangled together.
If you're in New
but
York,
but if it's me and Paxton walking.
yeah, we're gonna zip across, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
If you're in New York, where every crosswalk is busy, just walk at a normal pace because
'cause
people are
will be
used to being
people
there.
are going to
You
be
know what I
constantly
mean?
coming
Yeah.
through.
But am I the douchebag
Now-
for?
No, hold on. If the car is inching up at me as I'm approaching,
Well,
I'm now going 25%
Take
slower.
my fucking time,
Brother, I just got an empedema in my empanada and I can't walk anymore.
In your Karacha. Because I am not.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm slowing down. Because don't get off me with your car. And the thing is,
Yeah.
when they were first put up, tourists wouldn't think to stop. They would just zoom by.
Yeah.
So I've seen locals do this. And I've done it before. Is cross both. Like Tybee is 2 lanes each way all the way around the island. And so I would kind of cross over to block the other incoming car. And I've gotten like honked at. People yell at me. I'm like, it's a crosswalk. See all the people?
So I
you mean they were speeding?
They weren't
up?
going to stop, and so I kind of
Right.
cut over to get in the way.
anytime I pull up
Yeah.
and I see the lights flashing and people crossing, I take a look behind me, and if there's any car coming up, I pull into their lane a little bit.
Just to slow them down.
Because if you're not used to understanding that those blinking lights,
Sure.
Because they're orange.
yeah, and
Blinking lights.
the thing is, they blink for a very long time, so the people
And once they're out of the crosswalk, proceed.
proceed, yeah, even if they are blinking,
Yeah.
but people just don't seem to recognize it or notice it, and not being like a white knight or anything like that, but I love pulling my car over just a little bit because I welcome the confrontation. Be like, oh, you want to run these kids over?
See, and I do that when you're at a merging area. When you're merging, I get in the middle. Because look, the zipper effect works great if we all zipper, but then there's some of the douchebag that zooms to the
They
front.
try and zoom to the front.
So
oh
I
no!
cut off.
Oh,
There's
I
no
will,
zooming
I
in a
cut
zipper.
off.
I will-
It's one in
That's
one.
how you
one in
get
one.
your ball hairs
I will
caught.
cut you.
Yeah. What I don't like, and I will call somebody out for this, if they're next to a crosswalk and they haven't hit the button and they're jaywalking like 20 feet from the crosswalk, I'm like, there's a crosswalk right there.
Yeah.
Like, or if they or they're walking at an angle across, I'm like, what are you doing at an angle?
Yeah.
Stay. Just walk with the cross. There's a crosswalk every block on Tybee.
Yeah.
And there's one on both sides of each block.
Yeah.
So you're never more than like 250 feet from a crosswalk.
Yeah.
Like, walk down, walk across. It's there for a reason.
And I want you to hit the button, and I want you to be safe.
Yeah.
What I don't want you to do is be like, I run this street now.
Yeah.
And just
This is my block.
disrespectfully slowly walk.
Yes.
It happened to me the other day, and I was just like, bros. It wasn't a family. It was it was a couple.
Right.
They weren't pulling a trolley. You know, they didn't have dogs.
A trolley?
It's not a
trolley.
A radio flyer. I don't know.
A wagon.
A scoot.
A wagon?
A wagon.
A wagon?
I just hate wagon wheel so much I don't even want to say the
Amish?
word. Not they were not Amish, and they weren't in the mafia. So I'm not the douchebag.
Rum springer.
Okay, well I'll tell you what.
Not for that.
I'll tell you.
Not for that.
I look like a douchebag because I walked in the bar on Saturday to grab some Red Bulls or something, and Alex overheard a kid go, "What is he, like, create a skater from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?" Talking about me.
That's good, dude. You kind of have that look to
Creative
you.
skater.
I was like, it's actually a perfect description of
That's
what
good.
you know what I
That's
mean?
good.
I was like, okay, maybe
That's pretty.
maybe I
Pat's
am.
Burnquist over here.
So I've been starting to work on Thursday days as a server. So I'm coming into the server world, and I have a lot to say about it.
Welcome.
I have a lot to say about it. So I got in on Thursday. This is my second Thursday working during the day. I love it. No one's wasted.
Right.
Everyone tips. Right.
Until Mike gets there at 4.
Yeah. Everyone tips. But you get in there, and you start. The profiling that you typically do with nighttime bar guests isn't exactly the
Does
same.
it bleed over?
No, it does. Yeah, we'll see. It's my
initially.
natural.
Well, in lunch
Initially,
crowd,
it
like,
does, yeah.
for lunch is good because people aren't going to hang out as much. They got to get back to work.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so I'm not going to dox this person, but we'll just call her Barbarella. She used to be in the service industry. She was like, when I'm at a bar, even though she's been in the service industry, she's like, I'm more likely to tip like 20%.
Sure.
Because it's a bartender standing right there grabbing something and handing it to you. She's
Right.
like, I'm more likely to tip more than 30% when I'm being served because I know that person is walking back and forth.
Right.
And it's sort of expected because if a family sits down, they're tipping something. I haven't gotten stiffed one time yet.
The only caveat of that I would say is if the bartender is going to get you food, then I'm going to tip on the food.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the difference. But
Yeah.
like you're just getting cocktails, drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20% is good.
I get that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But so these people that I were profiling, like this one lady walked in, I posture profiled her.
Hunched.
Her shoulders were right at titty level. Like,
Was
and
she trying to mush them together?
No, she just had the worst posture.
Oh.
And she comes and sits down. I was like, this is going to be, she goes, how, y'all still got them $2 beers? I was like, this is going to be terrible.
Ooh.
Yeah.
20%.
So,
Nice. Okay.
so I, same thing, Friday night, Thursday night, they're all running together now. Hey, what Thursday? I was at the Windrose. Friday night, typically that's the percentage-wise the worst tips for Friday nights.
Or
Just 'cause-
20.
Or just lower because
Oh.
there's a lot of inexperienced diners out. The weekdays are better because people are that used to go out to dinner more often. Fridays, you people that are like, they're the more
That might be the one time they go out that week.
that year.
Right.
Okay, so this couple sits down. They're country. She's got a faded tattoo across her chest that was done in, I think, when Fro was born.
Yeah. And then she went out in the sun from now until then.
Yeah. She's between 40 and 50 to 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day kind of look.
Oh, nice.
And he's probably my age. I'm not very friendly. They sit down, and before I get y'all some water, he goes, "Hey, I'll take a LIT," and she wants a Moscato.
Woof.
I work at an upscale restaurant. We don't carry Moscato. I'm now I'm judging.
Yeah.
And
what about a LIT? You don't have the stuff?
Yeah, we have the stuff.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like $40.
So, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
I ring it in, and my bartender, Aaron, who's like, I love making LITs. I make great ones. I'm like, who said they make a great LIT?
And who would want to? Because that means people are going to ask for
sour
them.
mix and stuff.
Yeah.
Why would you take pride in a garbage fucking drink?
Well, and I don't make hard drinks good because they're going to want more.
Yeah. So I don't have the Moscato. I give her Riesling.
Yeah.
So how is it? I just want something a little sweeter. I said, got you next time.
I'll put some Sprite in it.
No, you want to put it? You want to put it there? Simple syrup and a splash of Saint Germain.
Okay, gotcha.
This is great. I'm like, yeah.
What?
So he had 2 LITs. I go to get them specials. They just start trying to order. I was like, I got some specials real quick. So I tell him, and he's like, I'm done with the fish. He goes, I'll have that. I'm like, I have more. She goes, no, I'm having that. And so I'm like, okay. So I tell him that special. He goes, I'm having that. I'm like, I have one more. He goes, no, we'll just have those 2 things. I'm like,
this is turning around.
Okay.
Salmon's going to be medium. He's like, no, this is too fast. Usually people take their time. And so I was like, salmon's going to be medium. She goes, oh, well done, honey. I'm like, okay. Well done, salmon. Moscato, LIT. They're friendly. He did take his hat off without me having to ask him.
He did.
Yeah. And they're super. And I'm like, you know what? I'm having a good night. I've got my Darren's already gone. We'll get to it in the second half because this is an epic Daren. So, but after he left, I was so satisfied with the way I was able to tell him to get out of there. So I'm like, I'm just going to have a good time with this guy. They're very, very friendly. So I'm kind of talking to him some. They stack all their plates up for me. So that's usually a good sign.
Normally.
And so, she goes to the bathroom. He goes, hey, it's her birthday. I was like, yeah, the whole thing. Like, I'm creme brulee, right? He goes, yep, creme brulee for sure. So I'm like, go ahead, get the creme brulee ready. I come out. I sneak behind her, which I like to do, and light the candle so she can't see me. And I'm like, boom. She's like, oh, where'd you come from?
Nice.
So I tend to talk to another table with it.
Smooth.
It was like, hey.
Very nice.
And so they had a great time. He's like, thank you so much. It's been an awesome experience. You've been a great server. And I'm like, this is the ending of this isn't going well.
So
and I'm going to take care of you.
Oh, the 2 death knell words.
120, $30 tip on the card, 20 cash.
Wow.
Hey.
And I went, and I told them myself to my staff, I was like, I prejudged at this table, but I thought I'll have a good time with them because they were very nice.
Sure, yeah.
And like, as long as you're nice,
it's not that bad.
You could be nice ordering trash drinks.
She could have been service industry herself.
But they were great.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing,
nice,
though.
And they were easy.
There's one thing to respect. Them knowing exactly what they wanted right when they came in.
Boom.
Yeah.
Not fussing about what the specials
or
things
we were out of, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but then it's normally the death knell when they go, don't worry, I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Or you've been so great tonight.
All that stuff. And so
I can totally pay my bills with that.
I tried to pay my rent with that one time. It
didn't work.
They didn't take it. So
mortgage.
So that Thursday morning I get there and we're opening, and first of all, someone lost the serrated knife for the fruit cutting. So I'm cutting it with like a blade. And like it's much easier to cut fruit with a serrated. Yeah. Weird. You carry your own knife, bro? That's weird.
I have separate ones for that.
So it's about 10:30, right? It's about 10:30, and in walks the pride of Tybee Island, Hunter Mullen.
Oh, buddy.
He's like, hey man. He's like, hey man, it's kind of slow. I was like, I didn't say what time it was. He was like, because I'm not bartending, I'm setting up. He goes, man, it's kind of slow. Can I get a red stripe? I gets him a red stripe. And he goes, man, where's everybody at? And then he goes, oh, goddamn, it's 10:30. I just came to get my bike.
and had to get a red stripe.
So he gets a red stripe. Then all of a sudden, this is set up to be the worst day. All of a sudden, Eric runs in. He goes, health inspector outside. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything that could,
Yeah, well, and you're just opening, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. So she comes in, the nicest health inspector I've ever seen.
We got a new one on the island, don't we?
Yeah, it's a lady.
Yeah.
She was like, "Can I set my backpack next to yours?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, come on, like we're schmoozing, whatever. No need to schmooze though. So we get a 98.
That's what's up.
And we got the 98 because there's an open Gatorade bottle in the walk-in.
God damn.
And 7 Twisted Teas.
And yeah, exactly. All right, I'll get to that. And the ice scoop. We hadn't even put ice in the ice wells yet, but the ice scoop wasn't in the ice scoop receptacle.
Thing, yeah.
So that was it. I was like, 98, that's dope. So
You talking about on the ice machine or
No,
in the well?
in the well.
In the
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So later on, towards the end of the shift, Eric is telling the kitchen, he's like, guess what? He was coming in for work. He goes, guess what, boys? We got a 98. And they're like, what'd they take it off for? I was like, well, there's an open twisted tea in the walk-in. Ghost white for like 2 seconds. Everyone was like, what? Eric was like, no, it was a Gatorade bottle. I was like, thanks, you fucking dry hump. Way to bury the lead there.
Thanks, Eric.
So,
Get
but the
back
rest
up
of
there, buddy.
totally the rest of the day. So I work the slow section. So I do all the
That's an F.
I do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I have the slow section, so I
The
take,
literal heavy lifting.
yeah. I take out the trash. I
Shit.
do all the ice. It's amazing because
Grunt work.
I clean off other people's tables, just to get them flipped or whatever. Because guess what? If you do that shit for your people,
Yeah.
instead of at the end of the shift, you got 40 bags of trash out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it makes everything run.
Makes it flow better.
Running
So-
side work, you're saying?
I'm doing so much side work, and here's the thing.
Yep.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
Amanda has a fan club of like construction workers.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking the people that I'm just effing it up.
Yeah.
That come in, kind of specifically for her. Even if they don't know her, she's at the bar, so she's rocking out, showing them all a really great time. So she earns the lion's share of the money because of her, because of her outgoingness or whatever.
Just her outgoingness.
Yeah, well, no, that's not everything. Her fucking tits and ass, all that, whatever. I don't know why you think I wasn't trying to say something like that.
Froze up there.
She earns the money,
Yes.
You do.
and
You
I
do.
respect that. So I'm like, okay, I'm not that jovial, I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Shut up.
Don't underplay it.
So, so I'm like, she earns the money. I'll whip every bit of trash out of here. And what I do is the trash feels halfway up. I take it out because it's much lighter and it's
Yeah.
much easier to throw over the edge.
To
It's
the
weird.
Trash can, not over the edge.
Yeah.
It's a doom.
Over the edge of the ocean.
Do you guys have a
He's
cart?
got
Y'all drop it out the back door. You have a cart back there?
Not me. I just take it straight to the
But
thing.
Edo uses his truck.
Yeah.
He puts all back in his truck.
But
takes it
that's
out
at
the
night
other
when there's like 100 bags of trash.
Sure.
I do like 20 bags of trash, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then
old 20 bag.
so now you start getting recognized a little bit, and this leads into another thing that really irks me. All right, so let's say you're out somewhere, and someone goes, "Oh, hey, what's up, Huckapoos?" Now the person that did this to me, I had seen him at Kroger, right? And immediately I wanted to go, "What's up, Kroger?" You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you know my name. I don't want you to know my name. I don't.
Just say, hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, you work at Poos, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Fine.
Get
Don't
that
go,
line.
"Hey, Huckapoos."
Yeah, that's
Hey,
not my name.
mailman. You know?
Well, that's more appropriate.
That's
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
gay
like,
gigolo.
Hey, bartender. Hey, bartender.
Have you ever had "Hey, Circa"?
So speaking of that, Mike, who's had the hardest time grasping where I work at Circa 1875.
Uh-huh.
Tragic?
Tragic. 'Cause-
Really?
So we play Fortnite probably 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
And I said in the middle of the game, I go, "Where do I work?" He goes, "Hold on. Circa 1875. I'm like, "That's good. What was the pause?" He goes, "I wrote it on the fridge so I don't forget." So Mike thought it was Circa was a clothing store because that's why I was dressed so nice all the time when I came from work.
Oh,
He thought I would show up Huckapoos. Okay, because occasionally I would just leave Circa and go straight to Huckapoos.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of night. And if someone's let my dog out for me or whatever, so I'll have on my black server pants. I don't come in wearing the white shirt every now and then. Like I came in with a white shirt on to pick somebody up or
amazing.
something. And so I'm like, does this dude think I'm selling clothes until midnight? Like,
All the hipsters go in after 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's a big-
thinking
a
that's
big
fine.
ad lets out kind of late, man. You gotta full service those guys.
So Circa, there is a shoe company called Circa, and back to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I think it's skate shoes. So he literally thought
I was selling clothes.
you were.
I talk about being a server all the time. Somehow I'm selling clothes.
You want a little more of this, buddy?
I think I'll take a little of that. Dunka. Be
Oh, as you guys pour over the electronics, making me nervous.
Oh wow, yeah. Over my new MacBook Pro, we ordered a mouse just for O, and he had to have it in space gray so it would match the Mac because he's a big
and coordinate.
he's a big Mac guy.
So speaking of Big Mac guys,
Sure.
I've been known as a Big Mac guy at times. So I don't want to talk about it.
Not this week.
Not this week. But you bastards out there understand that when you play a team that's not like an FCS team, you play an FCS team that you've paid to come play you. You don't play your starters and beat them 150 to 1.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know how you do.
Yeah.
152. You don't do that. You let guys rest that are injured.
Yeah.
You let young guys play. and you try new crazy stuff you don't normally do because it's experimental phase for you, and they're getting to play. People are like, it's the end of the world. The other team scored 22 points.
I know someone said that, and they're like, we're going to drop in rank or something like that. I'm like,
oh my God. Oh my. Do not be concerned with the rankings in college football. As long as you win every game, you're going to the damn playoffs. Rankings don't matter until it's time for the playoffs. Your rank week 4 doesn't mean shit. Yes. People that post, I hope Oregon so-and-so and so-and-so lose so we don't drop so far. It doesn't fucking matter where you're ranked in college football until the end.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. Just win your games. Win your conference. Go to the playoffs. Win the playoffs. Now you win championship.
Here's the thing.
I think I should have put some more powder in his drink.
No powder for me.
That's what was floating?
Yeah.
So don't piss your pants about rankings in college football like 2 people did on Saturday night at Huckapoo's. One guy, we'll call him Donnie Tutum, and this other guy that I didn't know. So this nice new couple comes in. They're going to listen to the podcast. I believe it was Joe and Kristen. And they're sitting there having a grand time. This guy comes in. I thought they knew him. So the couple had been drinking a couple beers or whatever. They got some food. This guy comes in, and they bought each other like 2 rounds of shots. 2 fireballs and 1 tequila. They had 3 shots all day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then the guy, so the couple leaves, and I was like, oh shit, he wasn't with them, and he's kind of like, he looks a little drunk.
The guy with Donnie.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him. It was I didn't know Donnie had pissed himself. That was a whole nother story. I found out after this.
Wait, come back to this. I missed the part.
It's just a random guy sitting with this couple.
Okay.
And
third wheel.
Yeah, well, I thought he was with the couple. The couple left, and I was like, oh, he wasn't with them. So now he's getting a little woozy, and he's kind of like, going to sleep on the bar a little bit. So I was like tapping. I was like, hey, man, you can't sleep at the bar, like get up. He was nice, whatever.
Go sleep on the couch like everybody else does.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Maddie and Franklin come in. Shout out to the Williams family, the Pierce family. So they come in about right when they walk in the door. Number one, everyone is bumping into Franklin like he's having a bad
Franklin's a big guy, big boy.
Well, the thing is, this one dude just runs up on him like, hey, I'm trying to get a drink. And he's like, do not, bro, get out of. And he was like, Paxton, what do I do? I was like, take anyone to the rocks that you want and nothing bad's going to happen. I promise. I got your back. No one's ever going to know. No police are going to know. You're going to be fine. And you would crush any of these dudes that were trying to whatever. Anyways, so I go to the back. I come out. There's a kerfuffle. This guy who I told to wake up got up and just trust-falled.
Forward?
Nice.
I guess forward. I wasn't there to witness it.
Nobody was trusting.
Well, luckily Maddie was there, and she's like, trained, whatever. There's a couple dudes there. Thanks to them, they were trying to help this dude out. The EMT show up. For some reason, they didn't send him in the EMT. So Maddie gets this guy an Uber to Rinkin or some shit like that. It was like $140.
Wow.
But oh my God,
she paid for that?
Well, we're gonna reimburse her.
Okay.
But so by the time the Uber's about to get there, they're like, this Uber's not going to take this guy. His pants are completely soaked in urine.
Oh, damn.
So they
y'all pissed on him?
So they canceled the Uber or whatever, but you still got to pay for it. The guy rode out here or whatever.
5-minute thing.
So I'm outside. All this stuff happened. Here comes Ashley. She's like, man, that dude, he was in the bathroom peeing, and he turned around with his little floppy soft dick. And I was like, who did you tell? She goes, the kitchen. And they just laughed at me. I was like, you didn't tell me, the guy that's sitting here right in front of him. Yeah. I guess he was kind of a nondescript dude, so maybe she didn't realize who he was.
He went into the bathroom with her?
No. He left the door unlocked.
She opened the door, he turned around.
So he's pissing like towards the toilet probably.
Close enough.
And then I guess she walks in and he's like,
slanging it
She
around.
didn't tell me though, but the dude wasn't a problem in terms, like he was drunk, but like when he came in, like,
he wasn't obnoxious.
He was not. I barely heard him speak.
Except for peeing on himself.
Yeah.
So he peed on himself. She saw him pee, and then later on he peed on himself.
Yeah, I think he probably when he fell on the ground, he probably peed himself a little bit. Yeah, but so when they found it, so these like army looking dudes got him up on the chair, and it was just like it was pee
Adam
pants.
Sandler pee pants.
It was pee pants. So then later on that night, which Saturday night was the busiest we've been in a long time, and there was not for any reason. And it was the latest I've ever gotten out of there. But by the end of the night, they were like, yeah, Tutum pissed his pants too. I was like, well, I guess Saturday is piss pants night.
Well, maybe he didn't want to pee his pants alone.
He was like, hey, P Brothers.
You're not cool
was
if
it
you don't
super
piss
bad
your
with the period pants? He goes, you've been
what you should have
Adam
done
Sandler from Billy Madison.
Sprayed the rest of his pants with the water.
With water?
So it would have looked uniform. and then just.
All right, so I don't wear underwear, but I only wear when I'm at work. I only wear shorts that don't show pee dribbles. But when I'm out, I wear normal shorts that show pee dribbles. So, and dude, I can shake that thing till the end of the time. It's not gonna. There's a drop left, no matter what. Talking about my penis.
Always.
So what I do is, and it's a classic move. I don't know if you gentlemen know this, but when you wash your hands, just spatter some more water on there, so it's a nice swath of dots.
So it looks like you just dropped water on your hands.
Exactly.
Like it's all from the sink.
I hate when you go into the bathroom and you're like, you're at a bar, you're at a divish bar, and there's no paper towels, and you're like, hands. So I'm like, hair, calves. So I dry my hands on my legs, and my legs are clean.
Hair and calves. That's good. Yeah.
You fix your hair a little bit, and then you get your legs and your arms. And you still got some left, and you go to the door, and you're like, how do I open this door now? You're trying to use your foot, kind of karate the door open.
You know who's got that lockdown? The Parkers. They all have the step open and close.
I love that. Hey, if your bathroom door can't open outwards,
yes,
which is they can't because it's a fire safety issue, I think.
Right.
But that's fine. Please have the foot thing. M-Market's got them on the doors.
For COVID, as soon
on
the front door. Hit.
I love those.
I love those things.
Shout out to Mr. Foot Pedal guy. Captain Jimmy Foot Pedal here.
Because when I see those, I'm like, look at that. Because even now,
I immediately like your establishment much more.
Even now, I'm not like a super germaphobe, and I'm not like super COVID scared. Whatever.
You're cognizant.
But I'm very cognizant. Yeah. So I fist bump doors open or elbow doors open.
Oh yeah,
I do it all.
And whenever, and especially when I'm at work, I've always got my rag on my waist. Anytime I open any door, I use the rag to open it. It's sort of like a habit now.
My thing is, I always, when I'm drying my hands, keep the thing in your hand, open the door.
And open the door with it.
Yeah,
and
you do
then
that.
You chuck it.
Look at us, man. We're changing the
and
world.
Just put it on the floor.
One shikaka at a time. Shikaka, bumblebee tuna, whatever.
I'm glad we'll be drinking something a little less sugary on the next round.
Oh, yeah. So, well, coming up in the second half, we had to wait for the boys at Raw Ingredients to get off work because there's some hard-working dudes, and everyone knows that. We will be exploring that in the second half.
Yes, we got a surprise for them, too.
And we got a surprise for them. So
we can tell y'all now. Y'all won't.
Yeah, right.
You won't tell them, will you?
But yeah, so they're gonna be here in a little bit, but I think we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, we got Karen's, Darren.
We got Karen's,
Darren's,
and I'm gonna try not to house 9 more of these. These are so.
That was my last one. I'm buzzing.
Yeah, because they're gonna bring us some Osaki, right?
Well, yeah, like we got up here and you were like, it's so cool up here, isn't it? And this is me winning the wide camera. Sorry, that was terrible. Thanks, that was a good salute. I get up here and it's nice and cool up here. I'm like, it is nice and cool. I have like 3 more steps to that. My body's like. Rum.
Well, the thing you texted me the other day. You texted me the other day. You were like, "Hey, do you think they'll want sake?" And I was like, "I wonder if because they." So I didn't even think of it. So then
he said no, they drink tequila.
Yeah, I was like the only thing. Miles drinks Budweisers, and Miles drinks Budweisers. Miles and E drink Coronas when they're together. And one time they brought me a bottle of tequila. So I was like, I don't know. So then Miles came up last night and he was like, hey, you guys want to do sake tomorrow? I was like, Clinton was asking that. Look at that. Look how the universe works.
I thought that
what's your favorite? What's your favorite? Should we wait?
Yeah, let's wait because
sake talk.
Yeah.
We'll do sake talk.
Yeah, we'll do sake talk on the second half.
Welcome back to sake talk.
Sounds good.
And thank you guys. We forgot to do it at the beginning. I forgot to do it at the beginning. Thank you to all the patrons and all the people.
Thank you to our newest patron, Stephanie Knight.
We love you. Hey, we love you, baby.
We talked so nice about her on the last podcast. She was like, I got to subscribe, right?
I got to subscribe now. And do we want to talk about Grant right now or save it?
I do have a Grant golf cart update. Did I do that last week about him he lost his Facebook? They took it away because so many people complained about the golf cart thing not being real. Facebook has removed his page.
Yeah. Well, actually, we'll save the Grant thing for the Patreon because
that is a visual thing.
No, I know. Well, yeah. We'll
do it next week.
Right,
Grant sent us a gift.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a few minutes to go through all of it.
That's a lot.
So we want to just do it when our hands aren't covered in sugar. But you guys will love it, and there'll be an opportunity for you to receive a gift along these lines as well.
Would you look at that? If you do something that we ask you to, and don't worry, it won't be drilling a hole in your brain and injecting.
It won't be. Hey, have this whiskey and Coke that I'm crushing and putting into for no reason.
All right,
why
guys.
is that so foamy?
We'll see y'all in a minute. You always do that, like fucking David Letterman. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to From Behind the Barcast. Guess what? We got a guest. We have guests, ladies and gentlemen. Myles and Ian from raw ingredients, Tybee Island.
Yes.
Thank you, boys.
Cheers,
boys.
Cheers.
Brought us some nice Sapporo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cheers, boys.
I don't know why I did that. Hey.
Your beers make a lot better noise than our glasses do. The glasses are like,
We used to have to put the clinks in post-production. I'd be watching it and timing it.
And
Ding.
sick.
Just wasn't strong enough.
yeah, Mark. So you guys own a sushi place on Tybee. It's the first and only sushi place on Tybee.
Yes,
There's been
sir.
other places with raw food that wasn't supposed to be raw.
Yes, sir.
But so we'll kind of get into that. I think you have something for us here.
We do.
Yeah, actually, we do.
We got y'all some. We got y'all some merch.
So they walked in with these white. They were wearing these white shirts. I was like, white is a dope color for the.
So whenever you guys are ready to wash dishes, just pull up.
Yeah.
We got you, dude. Just walk straight through the front door. We got it.
Let's go, bro.
Hit that bag, dude. Raw or no?
I love that raw.
baby.
I saw the shirt y'all wearing. I was like, I hope it's this one. That is dope.
I figured that much.
No.
Though. I did. I kind of thought that one out.
Full send.
That is perfect. That is perfect.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of gifts, I got
Actually, interesting side note.
Well, it might be a picture, it might be a quote, or just an interesting anecdote, but as always, Jeff's interesting side note. Oh.
Well, might like to have some sushi.
No.
We went
is
got.
this
We went got.
Publix or Kroger?
This is
That's
Kroger.
Kroger, baby. You see that?
We went and got special
That's the good
order.
stuff. That's the good stuff right there.
Just to where the roots.
High quality sushi.
put it back in.
I'm
So it doesn't go
dead.
back. So
I texted Clint before the thing. I was like,
he
how
hit
can
me
we
up.
prank these boys?
He goes, we all have our shirts off. I was like, Kroger sushi? He was like, legendary, let's do it. It slowed me down by 10 minutes getting here, so I had to go to Kroger and get. And I had it all hit, so I kept going in the fridge to get the beers for you because I had it like tucked away in the fridge, hidden.
I opened the fridge one time. He said,
Yeah,
So
I was
interesting side note about the sushi was it actually didn't originate in Japan. A lot of people think it started in Japan. It really didn't originate in Japan. It actually started the Nare sushi started in the Mekong Delta area along the river. Gotcha. And then eventually, that was between the 5th and 3rd centuries BC as a way of preserving raw fish in fermented rice. The gutted and salted fish was wrapped in fermented rice and stored for months without spoiling. The practice then spread to South China before being introduced to Japan around the 8th century, where it became the popular dish that it is today.
So sushi's older than Jesus, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
And it came from China.
And tastier.
Basically.
and much tastier.
Just like Jesus.
The Chinese
made in
beat us.
China.
The Chinese beat us to that, too.
Unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer, it's much tastier.
Yeah, that's American grown sushi right there.
so when did you guys open down here?
Well, it's-
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2016.
And so the building where it is, what was the impetus? Was that space available, and was it set up for a restaurant already?
Not at all. All right, so like, we worked at the surf shops for
Okay.
a minute. Yeah, and
Yeah, so if you don't know 16th Street or Tybreeze, I don't know why people call it that.
yeah,
It's like, it's a lot of
What it
surf
used to be called?
shops.
yeah, it's littered with surf shops. So we
Yeah.
worked at them, and the person who owns that owned that building
Okay.
where we are now.
Yeah.
And he just basically used it for storage. Like he would just put T-shirts and
Sure, yeah.
boogie boards and stuff like that in it. And like we would always talk to him like, dude, like if you ever decide to do something different with that one day, let us know.
Oh,
know?
so you already had maybe not necessarily
not
sushi.
necessarily sushi, but like we
Like-
always wanted to be
Yeah.
there.
I
You know
pour-
what I mean?
I pour
Like, we
wine
knew it was a
every which
waste
direction.
I see that.
It
And
was
you had
it was
worked
a
for them
waste
for a
of-
while, so you had like
about 2 years.
You were like, hey, since such good employees, maybe
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
if you ever think about
Exactly. It was him and my brother, really. So
Yeah.
him and my brother were the ones who were really working at the surf shops.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
They were kind of like the tag team.
So did you
and
want it
then
to be a
Holly and me
restaurant though?
later.
Like
We didn't
think-
have there was no concept of like what business it would be. It was just there's a space there.
Yeah.
That's a waste of space right now. Like
Sure.
there's no way that you should be storing anything on Tybreeze.
on
You know what
Tybreeze
I'm
because
saying?
that's a
Yeah.
very high traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
area.
Like yeah. So we knew it would make sense to him if we brought the idea up, and then we did. And then
So
we got
what
the
kind
opportunity on
of
it.
infrastructure was in there? Did you have to put in like,
Everything.
everything?
We did electrical. We did plumbing. We did. I mean, whatever you can think of, dude.
It was
we had
all
to-
just like the slat boards,
Yeah.
like what you normally like hang things
Oh,
on.
yeah, 'cause
or
you
like
had the
Exactly.
little-
Exactly.
Kinda like pegboard
There was like
kinda
one
thing.
sink in the
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
no bathroom, no nothing.
Damn.
No bad. That's a lot.
Nothing. Yeah. We did everything in there.
It was a completely raw canvas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a shell. Just a shell.
I still got the old pictures too.
Yeah.
Of what it
Really?
used to look
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
So why sushi?
It wasn't here. I mean, first and foremost, it wasn't here. It was one of the things that wasn't out here.
Yeah.
I think that was kind
And
of
y'all
the
worked sushi
primary concept.
restaurants before?
Yeah, well, we were working at one at the time, like when we made the transition. So
Okay.
it was something that we were doing. I was familiar with. I knew how to do that.
And there was a market for it down here.
Exactly.
because-
Well, I was going to double back and say, like, when we were working the whole time at the surf shops, people will come in and go, dude, is there anywhere to eat around here besides bar food? Like, I'm done with chicken tenders. I'm done with burgers. I'm done with fries.
Pizza,
I'm done.
yeah,
all that. Yeah. All that shit.
Yeah.
And when Agave got here, it was like Mexican.
Yeah. Well, we both, like, we literally opened, I think Agave opened a month before us.
So the Mexican-Japanese immigration all happened at once.
Dude, it all happened in one, dude. Foreigners just flooded,
It's a
dude.
great.
Old Tabby was like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, you know what? Right when you said that, I was like, I forgot that, like, maybe 7-8 years ago, if you didn't want burgers and fries and chicken fingers,
Yeah.
There was a Chinese restaurant for a little while,
It was
but
number one Chinese.
Number one
Number
Chinese.
one Chinese.
We actually did have a sushi place here on the island.
Before?
Yeah,
I heard
it
it
was-
was like
it was
right where
right-
Wet Willie's was.
Right where Wet
Yeah.
Willie's was.
Yeah.
Damn,
That's
that
a mouthful.
sriracha
that
got you.
sriracha got it.
So what? So we're drinking some Sapporo,
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Japanese beer,
Naturally.
and then what? We got some sake here. Tell us about this sake.
Yeah, it's a little G-Joy.
It's a G-Joy. It actually comes out of Oregon. And
Oh,
not,
yeah?
Not imported. They're making this in Oregon.
Oh,
And so
cool.
if you,
So can it be called sake if it's made in Oregon?
ooh, I don't know.
Sake does not carry the
that's a
same.
tricky
I don't
definition.
think it's like Champagne.
No. Or
It doesn't
Shiraz.
have the same.
That is a tricky one.
Cheers, cheers.
Look, we can hear them
all
now.
the way around. Clink it up. Clink it up.
Mohaba.
That is delicious.
Dude, that's nice.
It's pretty smooth.
It's super
Did you
smooth.
start with having sake in house, or did you just do food first and then bring in?
All right, I'm gonna tell yeah, it was definitely food first. I think for the first year and a half. Yeah, no beer,
Definitely.
no nothing.
No beer, no license.
We
yeah,
just
it was just
all
the-
of it was just rough, dude.
The liquor license is a whole nother
yeah,
world.
like even beer,
besides-
wine, liquor
and we still haven't
license,
even
all
touched
that.
the liquor
Yeah,
license.
we haven't
y'all
touched
just
liquor
beer and
license
wine,
yet.
right?
because
Yeah, it's just
sake
beer and
falls
wine,
under
Yeah.
Beer.
it falls under a wine.
Or wine.
Yeah, it falls
Yeah.
under because it is technically a rice wine, so
Yeah.
it falls within the category.
Because see,
where
when
we
I
can
think of
still
going
sell
to
it.
your guys' place, I'm not like time to get some drinks, I go
Yeah,
there for
nah.
the food,
Yeah.
But now that I know that you have this, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I get
maybe
it,
we could do
because
it.
the way the space is set up, it's like come in and eat, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's
Right.
it's efficient. Sit down, eat that sushi real quick.
Mhm.
It's not like it's a nice reprieve because every other thing on 16th Street is like dark, dive,
Yeah,
smoky.
yeah,
You guys
exactly.
are brightly lit,
Yeah.
clean,
Polite and friendly.
Most
It's a nice juxtaposition.
So I've heard that you're not supposed to pour your own sake. Have you
Yeah,
heard-
it's
I've
bad
heard that.
luck.
So I'm gonna let you pour mine this time. So
Have
yeah.
you seen the
I got bad luck
sake
the
that
first
comes
time.
in like the milk cartons?
I'm
Dude.
about to pick it up this week.
Dude, get
I'm
that.
picking
It
it
is
up.
so
By the head of the game.
awesome.
This week,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
it's
I'm calling
like-
Cameron.
Thank you.
Shout
It's
out
the
to Cameron.
best. I'm
I'm
totally
calling her
totally
tomorrow.
coming down to get
Because
some.
I saw
Lucky-
it. I
Lucky
saw it
Dog.
downtown. Lucky Dog.
Yeah,
Lucky Dog, yeah.
Lucky Dog,
It's
okay.
I
so
saw it
cool.
downtown. We went to a place downtown, and so I started hitting up all the reps, and I'm just like,
Where
I need
is
somebody to find this for me. I was just like, because none of you guys have advertised it to me.
It's so good,
like,
too.
I
It's-
found it myself, so now I need you guys to try to figure out where the fuck I can get it.
Do you put missing kids on the back of sake milk cartons, or do you
Only
put,
missing Asian kids.
you put missing adults who drank too much? Have you seen Fred?
Have you seen Mike? And if you have, don't return him.
The missing
Child labor
Narutos.
workers. There's a whole slew of child labor workers on the back.
So
Contact
2016.
information.
How long does it take to get let's say just from the idea, and then how much building the infrastructure before you could open? That had to take
I mean, it takes some time. I would say like the biggest headache would be like just getting the permits and like getting the.
so not even the build out, like putting. Like,
I mean, well, you just like you have an idea of how long that's going to take, but like the people to come, like the fire marshal,
Oh right, yeah. So you
Yeah,
know
how
how
it's
much.
scheduled.
department, like
Yeah.
they're on vacation. Like the year we
Inspections, right and
opened, the guy was on vacation for 2 weeks, came back, was on another vacation. Like it was just completely fucked. So it's I don't know.
What time of year were you trying to open?
I mean, of course, summer. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
definitely trying to go for summer, but like I think we ended up opening July,
Like midsummer.
June.
Might have been June. Yeah, I think it was June.
So
June
Yeah.
13th or 14th, something like
and
that.
did y'all close the first winter, or did y'all end up staying open?
No, we closed.
Closed.
Yeah,
First one
straight
was
up
hard
closed. Cold closed.
Hard,
Yeah,
hard
cold
closed like 3
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
was
then
probably like 3 months.
and that was just the winter of 2016 to 17. Did you close the next winter? I know y'all one winter. I heard y'all.
I feel like 17 we did, but it wasn't as long.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like we
then
shortened
now
it by a
we-
month
yeah,
each
we
time.
shortened- yeah, we shortened it
it was
by a
like, all
month.
right, 2 months this time.
Now we're down to 6 weeks.
So being able to
Solidified
take that
6
time
weeks.
off, like, is there a hit, or do you do well enough, or did you do well enough during the other part of the year?
Well, I'd say in the beginning it's definitely a hit, just because it's a new.
Yeah.
It's a new business, so like,
Sure,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah,
but at least you didn't have the cost of operating at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Because I had just moved back to Tybee in like 2015, and y'all opened. I was like, great, I'll have to go to town to get sushi, and it's better sushi than I can get anywhere in Savannah.
Yeah.
And so then you closed, and I was like, this is
All right.
cool.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm gonna go cry in the walk.
So my first positive interaction with you guys, besides just food, is I ordered to-go food pickup one time, and I'm in my mother's car. I have put on a pair of shorts and a shirt, and that's it. I don't think I had shoes on or anything else. I was just going to get sushi to go and come back. And I'm backing out in my mom's car on 16th Street, which is a one-way street, and I'm looking the way traffic comes, and a car hits me from the other direction. I got backed up because he had missed his turn and backed into me, and he was like, "What the hell, man?" I was like, "You're going the wrong way, son. Backwards. So this is on you." And so you had checked me out and said, "Hey, do you want like some water or anything?" I was like, "No, I don't need any utensils. I'm going home." And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, "God damn it. Now I'm starving." And you walked out with a cup of water, chopsticks, and napkins for me. And I was like,
Customer service, baby.
customer for life right
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
Because I just started pounding. I'm going to haul ass home and eat. And I'm like, waiting for the cops like,
yeah,
thank you.
car sushi, you don't want to put it in the
Yeah, that's not,
center console.
it didn't work real well. You got to get the sauce
Got
out.
ginger wasabi and shit.
You hit a bump, it's everywhere.
So was it just the three of you to begin with? Like just
basically.
working all the hours?
Yeah, and then the sushi chef too. Romeo.
Oh, so you brought in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out Romeo.
Yeah, shout out Romeo. Dog.
So what's up with the ordering?
Rolio.
Because I know there's probably different things for like the fish. You know, you can't just buy it off the street. I guess.
Nah,
You
definitely
know?
not. I mean, you can,
Definitely
but we
not.
usually eat that.
Yeah.
We definitely eat that.
I eat that street fish, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Jamie. He just pulled up with some redfish the other
Yeah,
day.
and Mike. Shit, Mike pulled up with some
Mike pulled
wahoo.
up with some
Yeah.
wahoo.
Oh, so you work with local purveyors or
Like I
just
said,
fishermen?
we eat that.
We
We
eat that.
eat that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we
just
eat a
for
lot of
us.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
We get distributors. We have a couple different distributors that we use who like a lot of stuff gets flown in. It gets flown into Atlanta and then they truck it down.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Delta's like a huge. They
Okay.
fly
Yeah,
a lot of
Yeah,
fish.
I mean, they're
Delta
the only
flies
people
a
that
lot.
go to Japan and
inland
come back.
seafood.
Inland seafood?
Yeah.
Inland
Yeah.
seafood. There's a couple other ones.
I
too.
went to a big wine show in Atlanta that you should do every year. It's inland seafood and either Empire or United Distributed and Inland Seafood. And one year they did it at the aquarium. I thought it was kind of cruel.
that's a little weird.
They've got like whole fish that's got the head and the tail, and then there's like pieces of sushi or whatever, raw fish in the middle. And I'm like, this is cold-blooded, man. These things are swimming around. They're like, Charles, man, there he is.
That's where my cousin went.
Yeah.
Nemo.
But those things are great because you can do a little drinking, do a bunch of eating, do a little drinking, do a bunch of
Oh,
eating.
yeah.
And there's a lot of people. I go to a wine show like a regular adult, collared shirt, nice pants. You want to look nice because you're drinking wine and stuff. There is liquor there. And there's always one douchebag in his Eli Manning jersey at this nice wine show. There was a guy in an Eli Manning jersey. I'm like, Giants fans.
An actual Eli Manning.
Yeah, an actual Eli Manning. I'll never forget. I was like, really, Eli? And he's one of the ones that by like they've been open for 2 hours. He's just lit. He's not. You just take a few sips of everything. He's like more. And they have
I have a
they have
bottle.
quarter-ounce shot glasses, so you can only do sips. He's like, fill it up to the top. I'm like, you're just here to get wasted.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
here to
it.
enjoy wine and food and then get a little trashed.
A combination.
If they do
of
those
all.
again next year, you guys should go to those. They're awesome because they'll put you up at the
Yeah, I
at
think
the Omni
you got. I don't know if it's a wine event, but what John
It's
invites
a
you to?
barbecue event. It's like
Okay.
a barbecue. They're doing it in St. Simon's this weekend.
But with the beer
On
distributors,
Saturday.
yeah.
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 There's like a bunch of different beer distributors.
They put you up in the Westin for one night. It was pimp.
Yeah, see, I can't go to shit like that because I'll be the guy.
You be the guy in the Eli Manning jersey?
You bring me with you. I don't let
fucked in there.
my. I take people with me, and I'm like, look, this is not a getting trashed event till the end. The last hour, go ham, but don't.
Fill that 3 ounce up right at the end.
Because you'll have somebody like I told you the story. This guy was pushing a cart full of wine glasses out that was working the event, and one here in Savannah, at the Moore Center. And he was drunk, and he was talking to somebody else, and a door opened, hit it, and the whole cart with like 75 wine glasses all down to it. And he's like, there's like 7 or 8 that are still not broken. I'm like,
Dude, go home.
The car's totaled, man.
You're 7 or
The car's
8% still
totaled.
fired.
You're done, son.
Insurance isn't covered.
Progressive.
So how long did it take to like sort of work out the kinks in terms of not just necessarily like the food service, but understanding like your overhead and ordering and
what people are going to eat out here. You know,
And-
what the locals like.
And getting just the flow together where it's running in a consistent way where there's no more like surprise.
Yeah, well, I feel like that just takes time, and more importantly, like it's just like you said, like the flow. So just like understand your customer base. You know what I'm saying? As it comes in, you get more.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Whenever you reach, if you order too much, you're fucked. You know.
So you're eating a lot of sushi. I'm gonna let you guys know, just off count. You've heard this. We do an F count and killing it, bro. Killing it.
Appreciate it.
You're gonna be competing with Paxton, F-Bomb, Eugene over there.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, like he was asking, so did you end up eating a lot of stuff near the end? You're like, well, this is ours.
For sure. And throwing a lot away. I mean, to an extent too, though, because it's honestly kind of feel like it's been a gradual, like it's kind of slowly but surely gotten busier. And so like there's sometimes even today we fuck up and don't end up ordering the right amount of something, or they're like, oh, we're out of this.
That's
and
the kind of place,
wait,
though.
how are you out of that? And
I'd rather you be out of
because it just happens.
fish
exactly.
than be like, oh yeah, we got plenty of that. I'm like, ooh.
Right.
Well,
And
exactly.
that's what ends up happening, because these people will come in and they're just like, wait, what do you mean you're out of tuna? And we just sold out of tuna.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
we just
it's
sold
a
out.
fresh fish.
Yeah, exactly. We keep it fresh. That's
I'm not going to grab some out the freezer, man.
We
That's
had
not how
this
this
much. We sold that much. We have none. So we're out.
We got
of
plenty of rice. We were loaded up on rice.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite things y'all have. I'm a sauce guy, and you've got sauces galore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
But that sauce
House
menu.
made.
House made.
Yeah,
House made.
exactly.
That's one of the things we pride ourselves
I
on.
don't.
For
You
sure.
probably remember when you first opened. I sat there and was like I ate. Like I talked to you for a while. I ate and was like, I need to get something else, and like just sit here and quiz you for a while. And was like, this is legit. Because I lived downtown for 15 years, and Sushi's in downtown was a big thing because they opened until 5 a.m. So you could go out, get hammered, go get sushi.
Yeah.
And for a while they sneak you
I
some
didn't
sake.
realize that. I didn't realize they were until 5.
Yeah, the one across. So I work at Circa
That's
1875,
crazy,
which is across the street from their OG Sushi's Inn. They were open until 5 a.m. there, and then when they switched locations, they went to 4, and then they slowly
Imagine.
away.
I wonder what the clientele would be like at 4 a.m. at a sushi
At a
place.
sushi
so
restaurant.
think about
You're
this.
mixing that much alcohol.
No
and
way.
12
sushi
years
on
ago-
top of each
No
other?
way.
12, 15
way,
years
dude.
ago
You don't want
downtown.
none of that.
The bathroom's got to
You
be
don't want none of
trash.
that.
Yeah, 12, 15 years ago, downtown
bathroom's
Savannah only
good.
had like 2 or 3 places where you could get food late at night. Like there was the
Melissa's.
great gay burrito that turned into Sweet Melissa's,
Yeah.
and then that was it. There was like a hot dog guy, and then Sushi's In. So you could go sit down and have sushi.
Yeah.
And if you went
The
upstairs,
hot dog guy, like right there on the corner of Congress.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my guy right
Didn't
there.
there used to be like
There used to be one by
a,
Garibaldi's, too.
Didn't there used to be at one of the hotels kind of like
Yep, there was a Huddle House or
Huddle
something.
House something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it had like
It was a knockoff.
it had like 5 tables. Yeah, it was like the befuddled house.
yeah.
But like Sushi's In upstairs.
Guardian befuddled house.
We could you go up there and the ceiling is 5 foot 9 inches high. So you're up there drunk and there's just people just bam, 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 bam.
Back to the sauces, though. We have to.
Yeah,
talk
yeah. Sorry,
about
I don't
this.
mean to get oversauced.
Wasabi cream. I was like,
Oh yeah.
what in the world? And I had it, and I was like, I will eat a bucket of this.
Yeah.
And then the eel sauce that most other places they only just put it on. You got it on the side.
Yeah, dog.
I'll get like
Get
9
that.
of those sauces,
That's love.
and I will grab one piece and one dip for this.
That's what I love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
do a little
offering the sides of all the different sauces, especially because you guys do bowls, burritos, rolls, you can do custom things. Did you start off with the custom thing, or was it like here's the menu that we do?
Nah, we
Custom
started
was
off with
always-
the custom.
yeah,
Yeah,
custom
we
was
started
always
off
there.
with custom
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
guess that would be the
always
best
there.
way to feel it out,
Well, exactly. Like, see what people are taking to.
And
You know what
then,
I'm saying?
and then if someone orders like something typical a lot, you're like, okay, we can turn that into like
100%.
You can look at it,
100%.
and that's
A
exactly what it was.
signature
You can look at it
thing,
on the
yeah.
back end and see
Yeah, because the spicy beef roll.
cucumber,
oh my God.
avocado,
That's
and
mango
seaweed.
beef?
are
Mango
like
beef?
That's my favorite,
a lot of
dog.
people
Shout out to
do.
Rob Kissabeth.
And so we
That's his
started
favorite
pushing
roll.
it.
in
Yes,
the world.
sir. Yes, sir.
All
He
right, we're
loves
speaking
it.
about Rob
Rob,
Kissabeth.
yeah.
The spicy tuna lettuce wraps. We're dropping them.
Yeah,
They're not going to be on the menu.
They're back.
They're
but
back.
you can't. If you say,
Don't.
if you come up in that shit and say spicy tuna lettuce wraps, we ain't serving you.
It's dead. It's
Say
dead.
anything else, dog.
That goes for
Anything
come up
else.
with anything. I don't care if you call it the
Rob, this is for you
Yeah.
specifically. You fucked us up, bro. You fucked us up, bro.
Fuck this up. We tried to
Nah,
look out
bro.
for you. We tried to look out
It's
for
like
you.
the In and Out
You need
secret
like a sign.
menu.
You need like a sign for it. Like a hey, pass them a note.
Could I get the Temple Grandin?
Exactly.
It's like a hug.
That's what I said. We'll
It's
figure
like
it
a
out.
wrap for your hugs.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna come up with some kind of name. We'll I don't know.
So what gave you the
do you call it?
burrito idea though? Because that's amazing as
How to
well.
kiss a bitch.
Yeah.
I think it's really just.
It was something new.
It was something different, and it was something seeing. It was kind of like a. I don't want to say it was even trending at the time, but it was just.
I saw it
was
here before I
seeing-
saw it in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. So you could see it. There
But
was
you're just
different-
looking
there
at
was
the
different
customer.
places that were starting to do it.
Oh, right. Well, I
There
was
was
saying you were
different
looking
places
at the
that were starting to do
customer
it.
base, and you're like, hey, they just want a fatter roll of sushi.
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They just want more shit.
Yeah.
And you can build your own. And so I get the bowl a lot of times, and y'all just having asparagus and seaweed salad on the side. It's like, and then I just drench it in the wasabi cream.
That's just starting to sweat thinking about wasabi cream. I have
Murder
seen
it with
it.
the wasabi
Pax, it sound like you getting lost in the
And
sauce
so,
over
and
there.
then you
my boy.
opened
I think I
up.
just got pregnant.
You opened up a spot next to your spots.
Yeah, right.
And when was that? When did y'all open that?
I can't even tell you, to be honest. That's the redhead stepchild right
That
there.
is a redheaded
yeah.
stepchild. But
Hello.
Was it
all
y'all's
love.
idea? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
big
100%.
time, big
Just,
time.
yeah, we
But
just-
it's ripe
Right.
ingredients,
Yeah.
right next door. Smoothies, coffee, acai bowls, and they're killer.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother Mason. He's in there killing
Yeah,
that
he's
shit
holding it down.
every fucking day.
Definitely holding it down.
That's we call him Barista Boosie, man. That's
Yeah.
Barista Boosie.
That's Barista Boosie. man.
Barista Boosie.
What's the
Big time.
acai bowl? Is it like a energy?
Yeah, so
Num num thing?
acai itself is like a.
I know what that
it's-
is. I'm saying,
okay.
what's the bowl?
The bowl is so
It's like a
there's like an
sorbet
acai,
version
yeah,
of acai.
There's an acai sorbet on the bottom, and then we kind of like stack it out with fruits and
Ooh.
granola and honey
That
and
sounds
peanut
fun.
butter.
And there's a lot of people out here that are crunchy granola people.
They're fucking delicious.
Throw a little wasabi
They're
cream on that
delicious.
bad boy.
That's just like, I'll put wasabi
Little
cream
wasabi drizzle.
on my
Wasabi and
cornflakes.
pineapple.
A little
dude.
wasabi
Fucking
drizzle,
whip it up.
baby.
So,
Wasabi cream and an old
how
fucking
long
flip-flop.
before you hired your first employee? Because I think that's a mark of like, because you guys work super hard.
Yes, sir.
And when Myles first started coming to Pooh's that night, he'd be like, hey, man, you know, I don't come out much. I work a lot. I was like, yeah, don't ever have to explain that you work
Yeah.
hard. So
Yes,
you're not
sir.
just going to be out fraternizing all the time.
Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean? I respect the shit out of that.
100%.
So how long before you hired your first employee where it was like, okay, now we can sort of pass a little bit of the, not exactly how long, but like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Maybe
that's
a
just
couple years into
It's just
it.
the three of you for the.
Yeah.
It was just the three of you forever, right?
See, and that's
For the first, at
Yeah.
least
For the
2,
first-
3.
I don't know.
Miles,
say the
Miles,
first-
get a little closer to my friend Mike.
I'm
right
sorry.
There.
I'm sorry.
Bring that thing to you, dog.
Yeah,
baby,
I'm on
you
that.
slouch, baby.
We'll bring it.
Baby.
I don't know though, because we brought Taylor on.
Well, it was just,
Taylor
yeah,
was-
that's how we did it. Like
yeah,
we
but
just
that was-
started
it
with
was
like
like with friends. Yeah, it was just-
I was
it was
just like,
just
what are
more
you
or less
doing this
bringing
weekend? They were
friends
like, you know, I ain't got really much to go.
As
You want
far
to make
as-
some money?
yeah.
Then get your ass here. You know?
I feel like as far as structured employees, it was definitely a couple years.
yeah,
Like, where it's just
They
like, no,
can
this
say
is
it's
like
a
an
sign of-
actual structured
growth.
thing.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
100%.
I was gonna say that's a landmark of being like, okay, so
Absolutely.
now
So how long until you had your first?
Oh shit!
Karen.
It's the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
shit.
Samurai segue again happening.
So I don't have any Karens and Darrens this week, but I know you have an epic one.
I've got a Karen that I'm just gonna hold back because this Daren, this daddy Daren. All right, let me get one of my fucks out the way. This motherfucker. Okay, it's a 21st birthday for what I find out later is his daughter. Her grandparents had called, ordered a bottle of LP Rosé. It's a $140 bottle of rosé. When you call in and order something ahead of time, there's a 20% gratuity automatically added. So I'm happy. I usually get those tables. I'm holding this one down. He comes in with a dog that it probably might not be still alive today because it was on its last legs. And so I'm like, oh, is that a therapy dog? He goes, no, she's just really old. I don't like leaving her at home. Well, you're in a nice restaurant. That's a great place to bring your dying dog. So he sits down. And Darren's dressed. He's got like white linen jacket and pants on. It's after Labor Day, Daren. So he goes, I got sparkling. I'm going to keep it chilled till the girl walks in. I'll see your face light up. I'll know it's her. I'll come right over with sparkling. I'm going to pop it and kind of startle her some. 21st. He's
So
like,
it's he and his wife waiting on the daughter.
It's
to come
him
in?
waiting on daughter and wife.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
him and his wife, dog, and his wife and a daughter coming in. So I see a 21-year-old girl. I'm like, is that him? And he's like, yeah, he doesn't really light up much. But so they sit down and I come up and bop right next to her. She's like, whoa, I'm like, hey, it's your birthday. And like, cheers.
Trying
and,
to make
and I gave him a little
nice
bit. He was just having
experience.
Sancerre. He had 5 glasses of Sancerre. That's a lot, buddy.
I'm not French. What is Sancerre?
Sancerre it's from the Loire Valley of France is where Sauvignon Blanc started. So that's where Sancerre is grown in the Loire Valley. All the rest of Sauvignon Blanc in the world is clones from Sancerre in the Loire Valley.
And it pairs really well with wasabi cream. I knew that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
A sommelier
being a
on
Darren.
hand.
As does any
Sommelier.
Yeah.
Sushi
So I'm letting them get comfortable. I walk back up. I tell them the specials. I go to the table. I come right back up, and I'm like, so any questions? He goes, we're ready to order. Where have you been? I'm like, I just left like 2 minutes ago. I'm like, okay, maybe he's just I'm like, oh, she's got things to do tonight. We'll get things moving.
Time is important. He's got a dying dog.
Yeah, he's got a blind dying dog. It's like laying on the floor next to him, and the dog's like, it's 25 pounds, and it blends in with the carpet. And it's not laying. He doesn't have it like up under the table. It's like laying between his table and the next one. We had already set a table around them. We were like, hey, I stood over the dog when the table walked in. They would say, I was like, hey, there's a dog right here. So they're cool.
It's dying. Don't
It's
worry
dying.
about it.
We're going to scoot it out of here.
It's a Make-A-Wish dog.
Give me some sushi later. So he, the table next to them orders first. I get their order and whatever. They get their first course. They crush everything. Before next course comes out, Mom takes the dog for a walk. And so I'm not going to fire their food because the dogs and Mom are gone. That dog could be, maybe it died on the way out there. I don't know. She's out there burying it. So I'm waiting.
It's a drag.
And so while
Not a walk, dog. It's a drag.
So I come up to the table and say, hey, I'm going to hold your food. I want to fire your food while she's outside. He goes, oh, don't worry about her. Just go ahead and fire it. So I do. 3 minutes later, she comes back in, dragging this thing behind her, and poor dog. So the table next to him is already eating, and he goes, where's our food? I'm like, well, I put it on hold. He goes, I told you not to do that. I'm like, I had already done it before I told you. So it's just going to be a few minutes. He's like, well, we need to eat right now. I'm like, sir, I can't cook the food. Like, it's coming out. There's one plate in the window right now. Give me like 2 minutes. So it comes out. My salmon's overcooked. It was medium well, not medium, whatever. Yeah. So I give me 1 minute. I'll get you another one. In the meantime, my boss walks up and goes, it's going to take about 8 minutes. It's not. There's already some salmon on the grill for somebody else. We'll just steal theirs and give it to him. He goes, I don't want it. I'm like, sir, it'll be 3 minutes. He goes, I don't want it more than 3 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I go back in the kitchen. I'm helping get this together. It's medium rare. I gunned it. Give it to him. He opens it and goes, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Wife and daughter enjoying everything. Daren goes, we're ready to go. And they both stop mid-fork and are like, oh, okay. And they both put their forks down. I'm like, oh, this is why Mom's been chugging this champagne that was for the daughter.
Facts.
Because she don't want to deal with his ass. Mom's Xanax lit and that. So I'm like, oh, this is a damn Daren. And meanwhile, he goes, they already ate their food and got out of here before us. I'm like, sir, they ate faster than y'all. Like, they had somewhere to go. Sorry. He has taken the 2 chairs from their table and built a fortress around his damn dying dog so people don't step on the dog. Because the server it's a small restaurant. You have to step over the dog a couple times. The dog's in the way. It's not a therapy dog. So now he's taking up his table and another table. And I'm like, Jesus, Dad, Daren. So he's like, come on, get our food. We got to go. I was like, here's the check. I boxed their food up because Mom and daughter wanted their food to go. He stops talking to the hostess, so I go over there to see what he's saying to her. And now I hear, if it wasn't for his immaculate service, I'm like, well, at least I'm good. And so he said, the food sucked. Everything sucked. The food sucked. The champagne wasn't cold enough. And I'm like, it was, sir. I said, let's talk outside. He goes, I want to talk in here. I'm like, we're going to go outside. Because I'm between him and the door, and I just kind of drag him out to the street, close the door. I'm like, vent to me now. He's like, well, if it wasn't for you, I would have raised a stink in there, and I would have screamed and shouted, and everybody in there would have heard my voice heard. Because my daughter's 21st birthday is supposed to be special, and you ruined it for her. Or y'all ruined it for her. I'm like, sir, they ate everything that they were served. They were still eating when you told them to leave.
That was all on you.
The champagne was under ice. It was cold. I said, you were going to scream and shout and ruin your daughter's 21st birthday. It's supposed to be special. When you brought your dying dog, I didn't say dying, I said you brought your dog that's not supposed to be here with you. You did all these other things, and you were going to make a scene. That's what we ruined it. You would have not ruined it by this?
blaming us for it.
I said, sir, I'll tell you what, you don't ever have to come back in here again because I'm going to go ahead and take you off the reservation book forever. And he was like, well, I said, if you want to leave a complaint online, we're all prepared for it. And I just walked away and he walked off.
And your wife got digged down while she went and took the dog on the drag.
And your fucking dog died.
Yeah.
That's facts.
And the immaculate service still only got 15% tip.
Wow. See, we talked about in the first half of this, if at the end they go, we loved you, that was a great service, or I'm going to take care of you. They never take care of you.
No. And like he told me, he said, you had he said, I'm the reason I saved it, because it's her birthday, so I was trying to turn it up some for her. She's 21. She wasn't drinking very much. And I'm like, why is she not drinking a lot of her $140 bottle of champagne? It's because Mom had to chug it all to deal with Dad and the impending doom of the dog the next hour or two.
Did she have a black eye that was healing or anything?
No. She also was just an interesting side titty. She was incredibly well endowed, and they were. So I'm telling the specials, he is fucking me. He's got me. He's got me locked in with his eyes. Like, I dare you to look at those. Like every time I would talk to her, he would I was like, he is literally titty daring me.
Daren knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Darren.
And I was like, you go to the bathroom? I'm just going to lick him while you're gone. Me and the dog.
A drive-by lick.
It was the dog.
Gotcha.
So how particular, and I'm not going to ask you to dox any Karens or Darrens that come into our hour or anything like that, but I'm sure, so down here on Tybee, it's like the locals are cool, mostly.
Facts.
Love
Love them.
Tourists, not so much. So they come in expecting one thing, and even at a place like y'all's where it's like everything's immaculate all the time, you treat
clean.
clean.
I mean, you probably have the cleanest restaurant on Tybee.
Treat everyone the same way.
Appreciate that.
What is the most...
I love that.
The most complaints you get from like tourists or something? Is it like
we really don't get too many complaints though. Like that's the thing. If anything, like people come in and they look at it.
Yeah.
I feel like the complaints come before you eat. So like they're looking at it and they're going, all right, chalk art, young kids. I don't see an Asian in this motherfucker.
Not one.
What's going on?
No,
not
people,
one.
yeah.
So it's like,
You should
what's
tell them
going
that you're
on?
Asian. Be like, behind my glasses, I'm actually Asian. They just open my eyes.
I'm from Tokyo.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
I'm
dude.
from Tokyo.
Tokyo, Georgia.
Yeah, they come.
But do you have like
for South
like
Tokyo.
With the
people who are-
expectations,
Yeah,
you know?
like
and,
super
and then you got to think
particular.
like
No,
these
most
people are
definitely.
coming from Chicago, New York, Michigan, all these different places. You know, my bad.
No, it's fine.
They come in from these bigger cities, so they're like expecting like, okay, you see sushi, it's like, all right, what's gonna be like this? And then they come in, it's completely opposite, and then it's always like that gaze in the eyes, you know, like you're at the register and they're just like, is it fresh? I'm like, nah, it's
trying to fill you
fucking,
out.
it's fucking
Is it-
disgusting, dude.
is it local?
Yeah, is it local?
Is this salmon local?
Yeah, we got salmon and tuna swimming out. Yeah, right there, dude. You can
Caught
go
him in
catch
the
it
back
off the
river
pier,
this
dude.
I got some big
Bring
sockeyes,
your own
yeah.
fish, dude.
So basically, you can profile just like we can
Facts.
profile a customer.
Absolutely,
They cock
absolutely.
their head to the side. They're like,
Oh yeah, they're just gazing, dude. They
See,
hit
if
you with
Darren
that
hadn't
gaze.
had a dog with him, I'd have been like, oh, okay. Because he looked
Yeah.
nice.
and then you're like, here's a free shot of wasabi cream, and then I'll take your order. And be like,
Start
oh
with
God, this place is great.
Start with that.
Way to hook 'em.
But then by the time they eat, they're just like, "This is the best sushi I've ever had." It's
I mean,
just like, yeah, but
I have a guy that works with me who's been here. He's from New York. He's lived here for 2 years now, and said that his favorite place to get sushi is y'all's restaurant. And this guy
Oh, yeah.
grew up in New York, like like around the city, and is like, "This is a jam." He lives downtown. He comes from downtown to get sushi from you guys
Oh,
for
yeah.
himself.
No,
and
we
takes
appreciate it.
his 4-year-old, 6-year-old huckapoos to get pizza because it's hard to get kids to eat sushi. I guess.
yeah. It's
I mean, I didn't
difficult.
have sushi till I was probably one of my best gay friends, Maddie, introduced me to sushi. Surprisingly, a gay man who also was from New York showed me sushi when I was 16. Not his raw meat. Don't
I
kill
was
him.
probably like
That's
20
funny.
or something before I ever tried sushi, just because it's not something that was typical just here in the South. At
Yeah,
least. Like,
southern thing.
No,
Yeah,
Southern
definitely
thing,
not a
whatever.
southern
Definitely.
cuisine.
But when you walk into your guys' place, the brightness and the atmosphere and the vibe, there's music pumping.
Yeah.
There's like everyone's, it's bustling. So it's a really nice vibe check to
Absolutely.
walk in and be like, oh, this is like, I don't want to call it like hip or something like that. But it's like,
It's fun.
It's fun,
Yeah.
exactly.
Colors
It's
of all the
fun.
charcoal actually
And it's
help.
different. It's a different take on what you would typically expect from a sushi restaurant.
It's
Almost
beach- it's
any
beachy
other sushi restaurant you go to, you walk in and there's
It's like
it's the
the
typical
red leather
Asian
booths,
atmosphere.
the-
There's the little cat that's got the arm
Yeah,
going like this.
dude.
Like
That's my only
it's like
complaint,
the
guys.
typical-
Toothpicks at the bottom. Toothpicks
yeah,
at the
with
bottom
the
for sure.
toothpicks when you check out. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
dude.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's speaking on what you were saying too, though, with it being like a southern, like being in the South. Of course, the name's raw, but we have a lot of stuff that's not raw.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
have plenty of stuff that's deep fried rolls,
Sure,
and
yeah.
fried
Yeah.
shrimp and crab. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like going back to what you were saying earlier about catering to the audience of like, we understand too that not everybody likes just straight raw fish.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
And-
got to give them some shrimp tempura. You
Yeah,
got to
absolutely.
You got to.
Do you guys, by chance, do the hamachi kama, the yellowfin tuna cheek? That's the fried thing. It's like an
Nah,
appetizer.
don't.
see, that's another thing that comes into like it being in the South.
Right.
I think what we really tried to do, what we tried to focus on, was making it like as simple as possible.
I was going to
You
say
know,
you might have like one person
Not
that
too
would
Yeah,
order
exactly.
that.
It's like one,
Right.
even the squid salad. Like
I was just gonna say that.
It's one of those things where we don't. Our thing is product.
Right.
Okay, so we made it look funky, we made it look hip, all that. But when
Nice.
you eat that food, it's like, damn, this shit's fresh. You know.
And
Yeah,
you cater
yeah.
to the audience that you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's just like
And you-
whatever we don't sell a lot, I'm not gonna have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just simple.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
simple stuff.
And I love that you keep your website updated. That's great, or your Facebook page and everything. Like some restaurants don't do that.
That's Myles.
Mine.
Thank you.
It's annoying. We have things on our menu on our website, and they're like, we don't know the password. I'm like, then get them to shut it down. Call Google. They'll shut it down to where you can't see it because it's annoying. They come in like, hey, you have this? I'm like, not for 3 years.
Dude, Huckapoo's literally hadn't changed our website since like.
No, they just did like a couple.
I didn't even think
ago.
y'all had a
I didn't even
website.
know. I didn't
I didn't know Huckapoo's needed a website.
No, well, yeah, we
You can buy
don't. That's
shirts
why
and
we.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can buy shirts and stuff on there now.
I
think
just
you know
looked at the
that.
Huckapoo's menu for the first time just a couple nights ago. It was my first time ever. Every time I go, I just order a cheeseburger slice. I get the same thing every time, and I didn't even know that was on the menu. Like I was looking at the menu.
That's
and
one
I
of the
was
newest
like,
additions.
I'll get stoned and go up there and be like, "Have me menu." I'm like, I have looked at this menu for 20 years. What am I doing? I'll hold it and go, you know this menu.
I have people that have been coming in for 10 years. Like, let me see a menu. I'm like, you're gonna get the Popsy. Like, no. All right, I'll
me
take
get
the
the
Popsy.
That's exactly what it is.
People still stare at fucking McDonald's menu. That thing has been around
That's
since
facts.
53.
That's facts.
It's like fucking cheeseburgers,
Honestly,
dude.
I do the
He's
same
gonna win
shit.
the F count.
That's he's got 4. He didn't write none of them.
And especially,
doing the curve.
so being down on 16th Street, the way your vibe is set up, so you got like, dark dive next to it,
I thought
just
you were up here. It was hard to see.
just frozen drinks on the other side, like just having that little respite of non-dive bar
Sit
sort of
back,
thing.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have that sort of vibe on that end of the island at least.
No, we're super
I
excited
like
to be
you
down
want to see
there.
how far I can stretch.
Yeah, baby.
No, we're super stoked to be where we are. And the building that we're in too, because it also looks different than most of the other buildings that you see on 16th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the impetus? Like, who does the art? Like all the chalk stuff?
Shout out Jessica. Jessica. Yeah.
Nice.
That's my dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
She,
So Ian and Marshall went to school with her, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to school with her.
So
And-
you guys from Savannah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
Southside,
sir.
Georgetown.
Yeah.
Windsor Forest.
Georgetown.
Went to Forest?
I kind of moved all over Savannah, but like Georgetown's definitely home base.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to
Southside
White Bluff Elementary. I lived
Hell
on,
yeah.
I lived on the south side.
Yes,
for a little
sir.
bit.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
I did my
Great
time
place.
at Armstrong / Georgia Southern. Bro, how far along are we today? I'm just going to straight bluntly ask the question on to the time of the podcast. Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting
73?
cipher.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah.
Very nice.
So we are going to do a Patreon here shortly
Yeah.
where we get a little raw. There'll be no cameras
Is it
involved. so we
raw
can take our
or
pants off.
no?
Oh, yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to my friend Jessica, who came in for her 10th wedding anniversary on Friday. Requested me every time she does. I've known her for 15 years. And she was seated next to Daddy Daren. And so as soon as Daddy Daren walked out, I came back in, she goes, come here. What'd you say to him? She knows me. Like, we used to work together. She's like, we were watching this and we were like, oh, this is going to be good stuff right here. And I was like, well, actually, it's going to be on my podcast. Here's a card.
So here's a
And
card. Why
So,
don't you
her
listen?
and her boyfriend are both in the industry. He works at Shrimp
Yeah.
Factory. I cannot recall where she works right now. Maybe, yes.
So have you guys ever had any like legit like confrontations with like angry like drunks or
I think one.
people
I
stumbling off the
only
beach?
have, ever had one. I think.
No, besides
And
Mike
he was-
Henderson.
Or Rob Kisselbeth when he can't get this fucking spicy tuna lettuce
I
wrap.
love this. I love
Where's
this
my
so
spicy
much.
tuna lettuce wrap?
I love this so much.
But yeah, I think I've only ever had one, and it was just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really one for bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I just give the face of like, don't do that. Not here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just go outside, take
Yeah.
a deep breath.
Yeah, because you probably got drunk people stumbling off the beach.
Big
Right?
time,
What the
big
hell is
time.
this place, man?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
They'll pop open the door.
but I'm
Y'all
cool,
got liquor?
I'm cool most of the time. But just this one time,
got liquor?
he was definitely like just overly aggressive. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just like, I don't understand, bro.
I
Like,
see that's the perfect way to approach it too. Don't match their energy.
no, absolutely not. I'm calm.
If they're bringing that aggressive, you're
Yeah,
just like,
no.
We're not talking about the same cat that spit on the floor, though, are we?
Nah, he was weird. That was
Okay.
a dork.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was a dork.
That was a
If
dork.
you spit on the floor,
Yeah.
you're a dork, dude.
Yeah.
I ain't got no time for you. I ain't got zero time for you, my guy.
He's spitting on the floor in like a nice
Because
restaurant.
there was a little bit of an altercation with that guy, but it was more or less
Yeah.
just like, bro.
well,
you
let's
need
hear
to-
it.
you
We're
need
here
to
for
get
the
out of
story.
here.
man.
You need to
So,
get out of here.
I think Mason,
You
it
need
was
to get
that
out of
right.
here. It started
do we
it
need to tell
right.
the story
It
of the
started
Patreon?
it right.
Spill that green tea, man.
Yeah, no, big green tea right now. Big green tea. So I think he came in, Ripe was already closed,
Yeah.
and then he was like, can I just use the bathroom? And like Mason had already mopped, like everything's already done. It's like, I mean, the floors are still wet. My guy, like,
Yeah,
let's
take
just
a
go,
look.
just
Yeah.
go next door, dude. Like, it's not hard, you know?
Yeah.
Caused a whole riff about it. Ended up spitting on the floor.
Yeah, like,
So he
oh,
come-
fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
you don't want to
fuck
let me
you,
do it.
da, da, da.
Yeah, just
Spits on the
right
floor. So he comes in. Mason's right behind him. I'm like, oh, fuck. Fuck, here we go.
About to go down.
Yeah. So
sharpen that
then
pencil.
Mason's like explaining the whole thing while this guy's like walking through to use the bathroom.
Actively trying to make
Yeah,
it
he's
work.
actually
Yeah.
trying to go through the restaurant, use the bathroom. Mason's like, bro, he just spit on the floor next door. I was like, nah, my sir.
My sir.
I
like my sir.
Come here, my sir. Please, let's stop right
that,
there.
my sir.
Stop right there.
I'm never not going to use that anymore.
My sir.
My sir,
My
please
sir.
don't. Stop pissing on yourself. My
Yes.
sir.
Yeah,
Follow me this way with
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
My sir, we are out of tuna.
Yeah,
Thank
you,
you very
if you
much.
spit on my other floor, I don't know if you're going to do it in my bathroom when the door's closed.
Facts.
I'm going to have to watch you pee like a probation officer.
Right
Yeah.
over the shoulder.
You can pee, but you have to rub your dickhead in this wasabi cream first.
Yeah, so he went nuts, dude. He was just like, I don't know.
That's pretty good, though, for being open for 6 years and only having very few.
It is very few. I don't even. There's assholes that we deal with on a regular
Yeah, I was gonna
basis.
say, I think for the most part, like we just absorb it well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
we come with
you gotta
we
really,
come with that
you
energy
gotta
every
really
day, too.
listen. If you got a problem with us, you got to search for that.
Yeah.
You got to really.
So wait,
stretch
so you
for
don't
that
have a
problem.
winky that works with
It's
you?
such a
No.
good. It's such a
No.
good vibe when you walk through that door. It's like it just evaporates any kind of
Exactly.
animosity
And the air's
aggro
always on
you
there.
may
All
have.
that,
It
that's
just-
gone, bro. Like
The
we're not
chalk on
with
the
it.
walls just
Yeah.
melts that shit away,
Absolutely,
man.
I appreciate that.
And
I
you're
appreciate that.
not
Sure.
dealing with you're not serving them drinks and dealing with like super drunk people. You know,
There's no
Like,
liquor.
There's no liquor
involved.
involved.
That,
Yeah,
that
there's
helps.
And
liquor
that was,
involved,
That
yeah.
was like purposeful.
If you walk in there and you bring a bad vibe, it's an easy thing to crush.
100%.
You know what I mean? You're like,
literally on the wall it says no bad vibes. So like,
it's like look around,
read,
bro.
dude.
You're gonna
read, dog.
Yeah.
Try and do.
You're going to bring everybody in here down who's having a great time enjoying their sushi.
Absolutely.
That's
and
the thing,
bowls
man.
and wraps.
That atmospheric thing is probably such a boon to like the ease of dealing with customers because they walk in a place like Pooh's, they're like, I'll piss on the floor, spit on it, and
And they work there.
Yeah.
I've had
Shout out to Tyler and Mike.
That joke.
Shout out to Tyler.
There was
and
a
Mike.
6-second landing.
Tragic Mike makes the news again.
Well,
Y'all, though.
all right, so,
So
we're gonna do a Patreon after this.
well,
and-
Fro needs a calculator to do the F count. You have to sharpen his pencil.
Oh yeah,
Right,
let's,
sir.
let's get that F count going.
Record breaking.
We have a winner, Ian.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With
Yes,
7.
sir.
7.
Appreciate it.
He only
Yeah.
did a half of the podcast.
6.
We're only half on.
P. Diddy
Good luck
had,
with them shots, boy.
had 4. Clint, you had 2, and Miles, you had 2 over there as well. Good showing up.
Fuckity
tonight.
fuck, fuck, fuck.
Nice to meet you.
That's excellent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too late now, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Nice fucking chance.
Well, once
Your
again,
prize or something? That's great.
once again, if you're local, please check out Raw Ingredients down on 16th Street. It's
Definitely.
It's not Tarbrusa.
And if you want to hear
16th
some
Street.
more
16, old
raw
school.
stories here on the Patreon, we're gonna turn the mics off, take our pants off.
We're gonna spill the real tea.
Turn the cameras
Yeah.
off.
It's gonna have
Turn
tapioca.
the cameras, not the mics off.
Mike's that would be weird.
Tapioca and wasabi.
It's gonna
A
have
lot of
the
wasabi
tapioca.
cream coming.
Yeah. There's a
Big
lot of
boy
coming.
wasabi.
All right,
So
thank you guys.
if
We
you
love y'all.
if you want to hear the true tea, patreon.com/from behind the bar class.
That G Joy
I'm
is
glad
doing
you
its
enjoyed
job.
I said turn the mics off in the next part, and you're hey, it's okay. Crow's driving.
This is
classing.
we're real class act here. All right,
We're gonna go refuel.
we love you guys. We'll see you in a
We'll see you in a
minute.
minute.
Those